Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Glopen. When you think of UNESCO sites in China, the Forbidden City, the Great Wall usually comes first. Yet across China, many UNESCO World Heritage Sites might not be famous, but they are presenting places where people have lived, worked, and thrived for centuries. From villages and fortresses to trading ports and mountain towns, these sites tell stories of human settlement, resilience, and cultural exchange. Each one reflects how communities adapted to their surroundings and built a way of life that has endured through centuries. In this video, we'll journey through 7 remarkable sites that reveal the diversity of China's living heritage and the shared spirit of human creativity. Stay till the end and let us know in the comments which one you would like to visit first. Let's get started. Ancient villages of southern Anhui-Xidi and Hongcun. Our journey starts on the eastern coast, where we find 2 of the most beautiful villages in all of China, Xidi and Hongcun. These villages are celebrated for preserving the layout and lifestyle of traditional Chinese settlements, something that has disappeared in much of the country. Xidi offers a different but equally charming experience. Famous for its maze of narrow alleys and graceful arches, the village was once home to wealthy Huizhou merchants. Their success lives on in ancestral halls, carved doorways, and gateways that reflect both craftsmanship and the importance of family honor. Walking here, you can almost imagine clan meetings and stories passed down through generations. Xidi is built around family compounds and courtyards, where daily life revolved around trade, study, and ritual. Together, the 2 villages show the heart of Huizhou culture: practical, elegant, and community-centered. Hongcun, just nearby, is equally impressive. Its design follows the shape of an ox. Hills form the body, a stream is the backbone, and ponds are the vital organs. The crescented shape, Yuezhao, and the larger Nanhu Lake fed a network of canals that bring water into homes. This system not only irrigated fields, but also cooled the village in the summer. Today, the reflections of whitewashed houses in these still waters give Hongcun its chaotic charm, while the flowing canals remind us how closely daily life was tied to both nature and ingenuity. Both Xidi and Hongcun reflect the prosperity of Huizhou merchants between the 14th and 20th centuries, when trade and culture flourished here. Walking through them today, we feel a living connection to China's past, with traditions of clan life, commerce, and art, all preserved in stone and wood. Fujian Tulou. If you head into the green hills of Fujian, you'll come across something really special. Huge, round, and square earthen buildings called Tulou. Imagine an entire clan, hundreds of people, all living together under one roof. That's what life here was like between the 13th and 20th centuries. The walls of rammed earth, wood, and bamboo rise several stories high, with kitchens on the ground floor, bedrooms above, and storage at the top. At the center is a wide courtyard where families cook, celebrate, and gather for rituals. Tulou were both homes and fortresses. Their thick walls and narrow gates keep out bandits, while life inside carried on safely. Locals call them a little kingdom for the family, or a bustling small city. They are also the heart of Hakka culture. The Hakka people who migrated into these remote valleys, built Tulou as symbols of unity and resilience. Daily life here was filled with festivals, folk songs, and shared meals, reflecting the deep bonds of community. Today, Tulou remain proud symbols of Hakka identity. Chen Qilou, the king of Tulou, and Tianluoken cluster are among the most celebrated examples, drawing visitors from around the world. Quanzhou, Emporium of the World, in Songyuan, China. From the mountains of Fujian, we head east to the coast, straight into Quanzhou, once one of the busiest ports on earth. During the Song and Yuan dynasties, roughly the 10th to 14th centuries, this was the beating heart of the maritime Silk Road. Ships sailed in and out, linking China to Southeast China, the Middle East, and even Africa. What made Quanzhou unique was its cultural diversity. The city was home to Buddhists, Taoists, Muslims, and Christians, all living side by side. The Qingjing Mosque, built in 1009, is one of the oldest Islamic buildings in China. The Grand Kaiyuan Temple, the largest Buddhist temple in Fujian, also stands here. Archaeologists have uncovered docks, warehouses, and pagodas that guided ships safely into port. Together, they tell the story of a city that was not only a trading powerhouse, but also a true crossroads of civilization. Kaiping Diaolou and villages. Heading further south into Guangdong, we come across something really eye-catching, the Diaolou of Kaiping. These tall towers rise above the rice fields, each one with its own personality. Diaolou were originally built in the Ming Dynasty and for defense against the bandits. But in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many Chinese immigrants returned from abroad with money and ideas. They added Western influences to the design of these towers, Baroque columns, Roman arcs, and even Gothic decorations. The result was a striking mix of East and West. There are three main types of Diaolou. Communal towers were shared by several families, residential towers belonged to wealthy households, and defensive towers were purely for protection. Some of the most famous examples include Ruishi Diaolou, with its elaborate interior, and Fangshi Denglou, which served as a watchtower. But the Diaolou are more than just architecture. They are symbols of migration, stories of how overseas Chinese blended new influences with old traditions. Walking through Kaiping today feels like stepping into a time when global and local cultures came together in the most striking way. The ancient city of Pingyao. In the heart of northern China lies Pingyao, a walled city that feels like a time capsule. Its Ming Dynasty walls stands still strong. Walking through its streets is like stepping back into the 14th to 17th centuries. Pingyao was once China's financial capital. It was here that draft banks called Piaohao were invented. These institutions allowed merchants to move money safely across the country long before modern banks existed. From Pingyao, financial networks stretched to Russia, Japan, and beyond. Inside the city, you find nearly 4,000 traditional shops and dwellings, many decorated with intricate carvings. Just outside, Shuangling Temple houses over 2,000 colorful clay sculptures from the Ming and Qing dynasties, while Zhengguo Temple preserves one of the earliest surviving wooden buildings in China. Pingyao shows not only the power of money in shaping history, but also the resilience of a city that has managed to keep its ancient character alive. But Pingyao wasn't just about money, it was also about art, faith, and daily life. Today it remains one of the best preserved walled cities in China, a living window into a past where commerce, culture, and tradition all come together. The Tusi Sites. Now we turn inland to the remote mountains of southwest China, where local rulers once governed under the watch of the empire. From the coast in the mountains of southwest China, we find the Tusi Sites. These represent a unique form of governance that combined imperial control with local autonomy. The Tusi were hereditary leaders from ethnic minority groups, officially appointed by the imperial court. This system flourished in the Yuan dynasty and lasted for centuries, blending local traditions with imperial oversight. The Tusi system originated from the dynastic governance structure of ethnic minorities, with roots tracing back to the late Warring States period and the early Qing dynasty in the 3rd century BC. Today, 3 Tusi sites are recognized by UNESCO. Laosichen in Hunan is the largest and best preserved, with remains of city walls, tombs, and administrative buildings. Tangya in Hubei, founded in the 14th century, is marked by a striking memorial archway. And Hailongtun in Guizhou, built as a fortress on a mountain top, shows the military side of Tusi power. These sites demonstrate how China managed its frontiers, not by destroying local cultures, but by integrating them into a wider system. The Tusi sites stand as rare reminders of cultural diversity and political flexibility in Chinese history. The old town of Lijiang. Continuing west, we finally reach Yunnan province and the old town of Lijiang, a place where cultures and rivers meet in harmony. Nested in the mountains of Yunnan province lies the old town of Lijiang, once a major stop on trade roads between Sichuan, Yunnan, and Tibet. The town is famous for its canals, bridges, and narrow streets paved with stone. The old town of Lijiang sits at the foot of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, perfectly adapted to the uneven topography of this key commercial and strategic crossroads. For centuries, it has preserved a historic townscape of remarkable quality and authenticity. Its architecture reflects the blending of many cultures that have met here over the ages: Han, Tibetan, Bai, Yi, and especially the Naxi people, who gave the town its unique character. The Naxi are known for their Dongba culture and their ancient pictographic script. One of the last of its kind in the world, can still be seen on signs and used in rituals today. But what makes Lijiang truly special is its living culture. Walking through its cobbled streets, and you hear traditional Naxi music played on ancient instruments. Stop at a tea house by the canals, and you'll see neighbors chanting, children playing, and lanterns swinging in the breeze. During festivals, the town comes alive with dance, color, and rituals that have been passed down for generations. Nearby, the Basha murals from the 13th century blend Buddhist, Taoist, and Naxi traditions with vivid images of gods, animals, and daily life. Lijiang is more than just a town. It's a living museum of cultural exchange where architecture, waterways, and art all come together in harmony. From Fujian Tulou to Kaiping's water towers, these UNESCO sites reveal the extraordinary variety of China's heritage. Each tells a story of defense, migration, trade, and culture. Together, they show how Chinese civilization was shaped by many communities over centuries. So which site would you like to visit? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on our next video.